All right, 6:30. All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So tonight, we have Bill Linsky.
Nice Irishman.
That's what he told me. From Virtual Town Hall. This is the company that supplied the software that we're running today for our website. There's a new version, new release, new platform. We'll ask questions about that Bill's going to describe to us. So we're going to get out of the way. He's going to use the wall behind us. I'm going to turn some lights off, I think. You want questions at the end? How do you want to do that?
As we go, you can have questions.
Okay, use the platform. Does that mean different hardware?
Not hardware, but it's a different content management system. It's still on our servers, so you don't have to buy anything
Okay.
hardware-wise. It's just a different system to upgrade to.
All right. I don't buy hardware.
So this site was built in 2011, about 6 years ago. And so over the last 6 years, quite a lot has changed in the industry, as you can imagine. And about 3.5 years ago, we launched a whole new platform in something called open source, which I'll talk to you about. And it's gone over very well. And I want to share that opportunity with you to consider perhaps switching to that for your site. So if you notice, your site is fixed. It doesn't get any bigger or smaller. It's about 960 pixels wide. Nowadays, a lot of folks are going to websites with various devices, widescreen monitors, tablets, smartphones, and your site doesn't move with it, and that's something that this platform that I'm going to talk to you about offers. It's called responsive design. So here's a site, Jackson, New Hampshire, that went from, your site is built in something called First Class, and just went live with this site. Notice how much wider it is right off the bat. And if I were to grab this site and try to mimic using a different device, you see how the site kind of moves with the screen? See that? And now I'm getting down to, notice these 4 links here, I'm getting down to like a tablet, and those links are nicely stacked there. And then if I went all the way down to a smartphone, you still have a nice visual presentation, very, very easy to find what you're looking for. That is part of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Additionally, besides it giving you a wider template, we have the ability to help visitors find more information easier. So for instance, if I know enough to go to a department, I can go to a department, but we're using some mega menus, they stretch out so it's just easy to find that information. Or if I know what to search for, I can use the search box to find something just like yours. But then we say, why not also make it easier for folks by having what's called help centers. They call it Find It Fast. A quick summary of some of the things that people may be looking for. Or about Jackson, here's a little introduction to the town that's not just a link to a paragraph, but it lays out a nice little presentation. In their case, they have a lot of visitors, so you're interested in taking a trip to Jackson, maybe doing some cross-country skiing or whatever, here's an opportunity for them to make their town a little more user-friendly. So it's making it responsive, but it's also giving it some tools to make it easier for folks to find some things. You notice these tabs here? If I click on any one of these, it opens up something new. Instead of putting it all on the home page, and you had mentioned earlier about hours, instead of having to kind of digest it all, it's all there, but it's all there in a very nice, orderly fashion. This happens to open up on calendars.
And how does your calendar work? How would I get to June from here?
This is just a mini calendar. You would click on the main calendar, and then once that opens up, you'd be able to click on anywhere you'd want to find.
So how would I go to June from here?
See this next?
Better deal. I
And
don't
they're
like
actually
those.
color coordinating their calendars as well. What you have on the home page, if I click on it,
This is the same template that you're using to promote for, or you're suggesting we would,
no, this is the same platform. The look and feel can be very different.
okay.
And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. But this is just a mini version of the calendar that is letting you pick and choose. So if I'm interested in what's happening on the 19th or the 12th, it shows whatever happens there. You can click right into that if you're interested. And now this is also some more information about the upcoming meetings. So that's just one way of presenting it. Here's the town of Center Harbor. They actually have a municipal calendar separate from a community calendar. They're using a Find It Fast in a different way as well. So the look and feel can be very different, but the underlying software is the same, responsive. Northampton, their Find It Fast. Quick access to some of the key things they know residents and businesses are looking for. And you can use images, and you can use text, and you can use links, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. All of these were from First Class, moving over to this platform.
Now, when we went to First Class, I think we had to work with you or your company to set up the format.
Yeah, so what you would do here is we would meet with you, a group of you, to decide on how you would like to have your new site look. Then we would migrate all of the content into this application, so you don't have to do anything but keep it up to date once you go live. So we would design it, migrate it, train whoever it is to update it, and it's much more user-friendly.
But if we wanted to change it after that, do we go back to you? Change the layout.
So it depends on what you mean by change. Berlin controls the images here. They can create new buttons here. They can add or subtract this information here and keep all of this up to date. If you wanted to, you had this for a few years and you said, you know what? We want to completely change that. We want to go to something that looks like this. You would need our assistance. But along the way, you could make a lot of different changes. Now, if I just back up for a minute, to give you a little sense as to what's going on. Since we launched the system, it's gone over very well. We'll be up to 600 clients by the end of this year. And right now we have about 90 municipal clients in New Hampshire alone. Much of that growth is driven by this content management system. It's built in open source solution. I don't know if you're familiar with open source, but when you make software, it's either proprietary or closed, like Microsoft Word would be a great example. You can buy it, you can use it, but you have no idea what it's all about. Open source is something that came about a dozen years ago, where someone said, I'm going to build software for a content management system, and I'm going to share it with a greater community. And others grab it and they build upon it, and it kind of grows. And over time, you could grab elements of it and create your own. So we've created a local municipal content management system in this thing called Drupal. Others who are using that are folks such as the state of Massachusetts is about to launch all of their websites in the same software. The city of Boston and Los Angeles just launched it. And if I jump over to this link here, see if I can find this one. Across the world, and many countries are using the same software, which is called Drupal, in governments at the state, local, and national level. I'm sure you guys don't care too much about this, but if I click on the United States, the White House website, at least under Obama, was built in the Drupal open source. It may change under Trump, I don't know. But they have 90 House of Representatives sites, they're migrating 520. And at the federal level, this software is used very, very largely at Department of Energy, Department of Commerce, Department of Education, and probably my favorite one, Department of Health and Human Services, is the Department of Homeland Security's website is built in the same software that we build these sites and that I'm talking to you. Why do they use it? There's two main reasons. It's very secure and it's easy to work in from a developer standpoint. So we have clients who said, build me a RFP module that I want to use as part of my website. So we've gone out and we can grab some code and quickly build them and then share it with all of our clients who are there. So it's kind of a nice thing. Anyway, versus what you have now that you guys may be familiar with, you have an unlimited number of users. In first class, you have to buy first class licenses and use them every year. That all goes away. You also can make updates in any computer. Right now, you have to log into first class icon. You guys familiar? You have an emergency, you open up your smartphone, you post an urgent alert any place you would like, and it goes right to the website instantly.
And that's actually part of the reason we said we better look into this, is because for the town election this year, where the date changed that day because of the snowstorm,
Right.
we didn't have anybody that had access to first class.
Well,
We did
and
post that.
you could always call us, but yeah, that's something. So that all goes away. You also have many multiple levels of permission, meaning you could have the police department, somebody in DPW, as many people as you want, posting an urgent alert to the homepage, but they can't touch the rest of the homepage if you don't want them to. So you can have very granular levels of permissions. You can have board members posting minutes, maybe you don't want them touching the content of the board. That's up to you. It's very flexible in that area. Probably the biggest thing from a management standpoint is when it comes to building out content, this is all a database where first class was a series of flat files. What does that mean? Really what that means is if you wanted to build a new page in one of your departments, like the clerk's department, and then you also want to put it in a second location, like over here, you have to literally put it in a second time. That all goes away, you just check a box, and it posts to a second, a third, a fourth location, because it's all pulling from a database, and it's all determining how you want to do it. I'm getting into levels of details, but I thought that may be of interest to you. What we try to do is make sure that the public, who's never quite sure, the public comes to your site with two things. They're not sure where to go, and they may not have a lot of time or patience because they just want to find what they're looking for and move on. So what this is really good is you can easily post the same content in other areas, such as all of your forms and documents can be in a document center as well as at the department level. You can have an alphabetical listing of topics, where do I go for, as well as at the department level. You can post things in various secondary locations such as residents and businesses.
So they're only kept in one place, but you point to them from other places.
Exactly. It's all one place, you're only editing it one time, but it goes in different locations. Departments have a lot of neat things. Are you guys posting minutes into agendas? Do you grab them and at the end of the year and drag them into different folders?
Yeah, they are by year.
By
Right,
year?
but we put them in folders as we're
Okay, that's good.
doing it.
This automatically does that, so you don't have to put them in folders. You just point to a date on the calendar, and it puts it right in there. Lots of nice tools that I can just touch on a few things, but the main thing is this persistent navigation for a department. So if I happen to go to your clerk's department, and I'm interested in some information like dog license, if I click on dog license, here's my information, but everything about that clerk's page, all those other links, are no longer available to me. I have to go back to find them. Now, if I went to Jackson, and I happen to go to the clerk's page, and in this page, that's the clerk, here's the dog licenses on this side. If I click on dog license, here's my information again, but all of the links relating to my world of the clerk carry forward, so it makes it easier, as does all the contact information for my department. So it's just a more user-friendly approach. And a lot of what I'm telling you is we've talked to our first-class users about how to improve this, and we've done a number of things in order to do that.
Could you talk about the e-subscriber?
Yes, so e-subscriber means you can subscribe to a variety of topics, which you could do now in first class. It's just a little easier in that you just check a box and it goes out as an e-subscriber. You don't have to do a special posting if that's what you guys have to do now. You can have a variety of lists, so if I go back to your site here, you're making three things available. Board of Selectmen minutes, agendas, and town news. You can have as many lists as you want, as many departments, and you could create those lists. And then you can manage them by simply checking a box. A lot easier.
So somebody who's interested in the cemetery commission could sign up for alerts from the cemeteries
Correct,
page.
right. And it's as simple as checking a box on your page, and you can activate that already. You don't have to call us to do that.
Do we have visibility to that list? The emails, the people that signed up?
Yes, you do. You could find out who is signed up on each list if you would like. In both systems, there's some language that says we're not going to use this list to market. We're not going to, so people are expecting you not to do much with the list, but you have the visibility to it. Yeah. As you start to do things, and I don't know if you're doing anything or planning to do anything with Twitter on public safety. You guys use Twitter at all?
Do we?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. A lot of public safety officials are starting to use Twitter. Some towns, some departments have Facebook. We're integrated, so if you had an urgent alert going out to the town, you can post it on the town, check a box that goes out as a Twitter feed, check a box that goes to your e-subscriber, and it automatically gets posted on a Facebook wall. That may not be necessary for a small community, but you may over time start to think about doing some of that social media, and we're fully integrated with all of that. Lots of tools, and again, I don't want to get into too much detail, but the key things up here, bless you. You can set when you publish content. You have a meeting, you decide to, maybe it's a meeting for a 4th of July parade, but now it's in May, you know what you want to say about it. You could create your page, but schedule it to appear June 15th. At the same time as you're scheduling, you can schedule it to come off July 5th. So it's clean and it's simple. Very easy to do. You're just picking from a calendar. We also have something called review on dating. Let's say you posted next year's preliminary budget for the public to see. You can tell our system, in 2 months from now, I know we're going to have the budget finalized, at least we hope. Remind me of this page in 2 months, and on that date that you tell us, our system will send you an email. Rose, here's a link to the page. Oh yeah, I want to put up the new final budget now. So a lot of neat little tools, and I'm not going to get into all of that, but give you a little sense as to what it's all about. Other modules that you can activate depending on your interest. Here's some examples of our clients asked us to build out other modules, and we did it for them. We didn't charge them, and then we just make it available to all of the Drupal clients as well. No limit to design. I gave you a sense as to some of the design options, but you can pick and choose. You can find a design you like in Kansas, and we can retrofit. It gives us lots of flexibility. Same secure hosting. We back up all of your information daily off-site. You have SSL certificates on this, meaning instead of HTTP, it's HTTPS. All that means is if you were passing any secure information, it's going to be secure. You guys really don't do that, but this system comes with that automatically. I don't know if you want me to demonstrate, but I'm conscious of some time as to how to update stuff. I'll leave that up to you.
It's really just the two of us on updating, so unless somebody else wants to see.
Various departments generate documents, monthly budget.
Right.
Can that be posted by the creator of the document?
Absolutely. Leaving that comment aside, absolutely.
Okay. So we don't have to go through an individual to post everything to it. Everybody can do their own.
That's up to you. You may find some people you want to help them out and other people you don't. But the system will allow you to be as granular as you would like or as practical as you may need to be. If that answers your question.
Who controls the users? How are users set up?
You control them. Well, I can log right in for a minute. We have a
Okay.
couple minutes just to,
Go ahead.
sometimes talking doesn't fully complete the picture. So this is just a demo site. And I'm gonna log in. I'm not using first class. I'm logging right into the website. Now that I'm logged into the website, notice I have some things where I can edit here and I can create content here. This create content allows people at the department, the board, or the homepage to do different things. These are all the things that a typical municipality would want to do. Host an event, create an FAQ, create a freeform document, add a link, a meeting agenda. I think you get the idea. I'm going to go to create an urgent alert. You know, a banner that violates the website, okay? So it opens up a little template for help using this template. Please read the help documentation, but you don't need to. It's very intuitive. Title, this field is required. What would be an urgent alert you may want to post?
Fire danger high.
Excuse me?
Fire danger high.
Fire danger high. That's what people see. This is a work area where you can provide more details. You can type, you can paste from Word, you can add images, you can add hyperlinks, you can add tables like election night results. But I'm just going to hit save and close. And now I'm done. If I go back to the home page, remember you're doing this on your smartphone if you need to. Fire danger high, it says read more. This edits only because I'm logged in. Hit read more, brings me right back to my page. Now, when we tell people in editing, you just follow the form, pretty simple form, right? On the left-hand side, there's a bunch of tools, such as scheduling options. I publish this now, I could publish it anytime in the future. You're pointing to a calendar. Right down to the second. Maybe this really was a fire danger high today. Tomorrow, you know, no problem, we get a lot of rain. I'm going to make sure this comes off at 5 in the morning tomorrow. It's going to automatically unpublish. Maybe you had an attachment to add to this fire danger high, a flyer of some kind. You can just add an attachment like this. E-subscriber. If people were subscribing to town urgent alerts, you do things a little differently in first class. All you have to do is check that box, and out it goes. It's that simple. But post to Twitter, same thing. Check a box. So there's lots of things you can do. But to answer your question, up here, people, this bar here is for what we call your site administrators. Someone who you wanted to be able to do more, maybe not the department users, maybe these guys. You can create a user, add a user.
Okay.
You could assign permissions to that user. You could run reports such as a broken links report. You could add content such as a new board. You don't have to call us to add a new board, which is something you have to do now.
And to get it onto that top menu, those
Right.
top bars,
Right.
buttons.
You do all of that now. So a lot more flexibility. One thing I really like, let me just show you one thing, I'm conscious of the time, is if I go to a department, like the health department, I work in the health department. So this is the layout of our demo site. And I'm gonna hit create content. Instead of doing that, I'll do an FAQ. All departments have frequently asked questions. So question, any health topics you can think of?
Lyme disease.
Oh, yeah, Lyme disease.
What is Lyme disease? Okay? Answer down here. And now I'm gonna hit save and close, but I have this display options. Display it on the where do I go for page. If checked, this page will show up in the where do I go for page. You're putting it on a second location, alphabetical topics. So if I have no idea where to get this information at the department level, you're giving them a chance to find it under a different button. So what would you do? I'd say, yeah, I want that. Well, what's the title? I don't want to put it under W for what? I'm going to put under L for Lyme disease info, or information, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm going to hit save and close. And now when I go back to the health department, there's a little extra module. Oh, it looks like I used one of those already. Called What is Lyme disease? That's actually an old one. If I click on this one, it's going to bring me back to that page. But if I have a where do I go for, under L, I may even have two here. Yeah. One is info, one is information. It's going to bring right back to your page, a second location. And then sometimes we do things behind the scenes without you doing anything, such as FAQs. Why not bring up all the FAQs on one page, just to add redundancy to make it easier for the public? And now under health, this shows up without you doing anything. What is Lyme disease? Either way, I'm going to go back. Now I can do other things like embedded video. So if you really want embedded video, you could literally go to YouTube. And find something that's, what is Lyme disease, or and maybe I'll find Comeau. Lyme disease information, whatever you want. I'm going to copy that. And all I have to do is click on embed video, put it here, hit save and close. And now, besides giving them some written information, here's a little video right on the home page. So that's what people are doing more, is to try to make it easier for folks to find it. And then once they're there, give them more tools to make the information itself very useful.
So you explained that you will help us migrate, but we have to talk about pricing.
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 Yes. So there's a $4,500 cost for designing it fully, migrating all of your pages, and training you, basically giving you a brand new website. You can spread that over 3 fiscal years if you would like, but that's the cost.
And
Not a crazy cost.
is there an annual maintenance fee? Today we pay, I think,
No increase in your annual fee.
okay, that's what that means.
Yeah.
We pay $1,500.
Yeah.
So that doesn't go up any. No.
So we pay the 1,500 and spread the 45 over 3 years.
That's an option if you want to do that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about emails? Is emails associated with this, or is that something?
No, emails are, what? So,
That's
no,
separate.
emails are a different vendor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I noticed a lot of towns in our area are going to this
This
new type
system.
of platform and
Right.
stuff.
Right. The responsive platform is really where it was going, but this also has a lot of great tools that we took a lot of what was in need of improvement and built that into the system, which is nice.
That was, I like the capability of getting on the smartphone, because when I go on it now, it's like you're trying to move your screen to get
Trying to
it.
move
Yeah,
it,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that automatic cropping is nice
Right.
like that.
So it takes about 3 months, maybe a little less, depending on how much of your content you want to tell us to move it all, or move some and give us new stuff, and we'll build out whatever you give us. It may be 2 months, start to finish.
And you do that remotely on the phone or?
Yeah, usually we would have a project manager in touch with somebody like Lori saying, okay, let's review it by department. All this stuff good? She may say, this is good, but this department, no, we're gonna send you new stuff. We need some of your input to help us. Some of our clients say, just move it all, it's relatively good. And we'll do that. Along the way, you may wanna send us new stuff, and we'll build that out as well. But yeah, all remotely. So something to think about. I'll send you this information so you have a record of it.
Thank you.
And if you decide not to change, we're still supporting First Class. We still have quite a few clients, so it's not an imperative that you move, but I think it makes a lot of sense.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's take a 5-minute break so we can knock this down.
Sure. There you go. If we spread it over 3 years, is that interest free?
Currently it is, yeah, we can add interest to it if you prefer.
I don't know, what do you think?
It's a good question, but yes.
We'll work on it. Thank you, it was very informative, very nice product.
Yeah, that was the problem.
It is nice, huh? Consider what we tried to do for the snowstorm.
Yeah.
We were panicking, we couldn't get it out.
Thanks for giving me space.
It's too bad. You lived.
No, I mean, people said they didn't know we
Yeah,
postponed
no,
the town meeting.
it's hard to find.
That was the issue,
They didn't see the message.
they couldn't find the message,
No.
because the banner didn't come up, it was hidden, it was on one little entrance.
This is a stress ball.
It depends on the website.
The what?
Well, it depends on the website.
Well, they are.
Not that you need the stress ball.
They are.
He's cute.
That's the issue, right? Get hooked.
Let's see, if we did this right, if we let us pay the 1,500, we started in November, but we didn't have to pay till January. Stretch that out for the 4,500.
We know how to
We
do
might
this.
get it in
We know how
4
to do
I see where you're going with it.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
See you. Yep, we'll talk to you.
Okay, let's continue. The next agenda item is the approval of meeting minutes from May 9th.
These are the ones that circulated.
Yes.
There's only one minor change you suggested, right?
And it was in there.
I saw that. All right, I make a motion to accept the May 9th minutes as drafted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any public comment tonight? Okay, Mary Lou, you're up. Treasurer's report if you're ready.
Okay. So currently in the bank, this time of year becomes a little of a stretch. So we currently have $503,759.37. However, by July, we need to pay the school district $510,765, and the town of Wakefield $70,138. So we will be $77,000 short. Now, I know tax bills will go out sometimes, so that's usually what saves us. So, but
Can I read the letter we got from the school board?
feel free.
Please find enclosed the town payment schedule from the Wolfboro Regional School District for the month of June 2017. Our school year ends the 26th with most payrolls to be met by that date. Payment for the month of June must be received by the 15th. We can do that, I guess? June 15th?
Yes, I'm planning on the next selectmen's meeting.
Okay, and then they go on to say, the July, due to a considerable cash outlay, the school district has an early July. The July payment must be received the first week of July, and that's our new number. So they want one in mid-June and one very early in July.
Mhm. I'm not sure I can do the early in July.
We'll see what the
We'll see
tax,
what we do.
we'll see what the tax receipts look like.
Mhm. So just to add to that, that's $182,378 or 17% increase for the new school year over this year. So it goes from a little over 1 million to 1.2 million. And in the first 4 months, between May and July, we will have sent them $633,769. So it's a whole chunk of change for us.
We got a question though. Yes.
Just repeat the number again?
The number of the
I'm having trouble with
increase,
the number, yes. The total.
the total,
It's on the
yeah,
sheet.
it's on the sheet.
Eddie, I can give you the sheet, but currently we're paying $1,051,000, okay, per year. The new number for 2017-18 is now gonna be $1,233,000. A 17% increase from this year to next.
From June to July,
Ossipee just sent in, I think, 7 million.
yes,
Oh, their
Yeah,
data's
they're-
on the sheet also. We
we're
had
one
a-
of the big kids.
We had an increase in the number of students attending. Diane has a question.
Yes, I'm looking at my notes from the last meeting, and Mary Lou, I thought you had said last time that we were looking at combined Governor Wentworth and Wakefield in May.
May and June, I didn't know July yet.
Well, you said July was 125,000, so these are the numbers, 125,000 for July and 193,000 for June. So which one went up?
They gave us new numbers.
They gave us new numbers starting for July, it's over 200,000.
It's over how much?
211,000.
So 211,000 for,
July.
and what was June's?
And I didn't have that number.
What was June's?
June is, I just paid May, and June is.
122,975.
Right, and I just paid them 122,974. For May.
Okay. All right, thank you. And I'm sorry, one more question. Wakefield was how much?
Wakefield is 70,138.
So I'm not coming up with 500,000 by July 1st then.
If you take,
You just said 211, 123.
no, so in the past, in May, here's what I've got. For May, I have 122,974. In June, 122,975. In July, 211,663. And in August, 176,157. So there's 4 months of the year, and we will have paid them 633,000.
Okay, all right, sorry, I'm just trying to get to July 1st. I'm trying to get to the 510,765 that you started this conversation with.
Okay,
That was Governor Wentworth.
Governor Wentworth.
So you're including in that the payment that you just made, the
I'm
123?
including, yep,
Okay, all right, sorry, my mistake, because you said that you just paid it, but yet say that now we still have to pay that, so.
No, I'm not saying we still have to pay it by that time. Probably how I should have phrased it, Diane, would have been, by that time, we will have paid them.
Okay, because when you say the amount of money in the bank, the 503,000,
Mhm.
is that as of April 30th or
Or that's as of last night.
after you paid?
No, the check has been written, it hasn't been cashed. So it's gotta come out of the bank.
So that's a reconciled number,
Yeah,
or your
well, not really
checkbook. It's your
reconciled.
checkbook balance.
It's my checkbook balance, knowing that check is in there.
What we're trying to do
Got
is get a handle on how much money we're gonna have at the end of the 6-year period,
So-
6-month period.
Yep.
To make sure we have enough cash to pay the bills that are coming at us. That's what we're trying to do.
I understand, but I'm sorry, I'm still confused. If you're counting, recognizing that the bill has already been paid for May,
The check has been written but not sent, is that?
The check has been written and sent, it has not cashed.
but you're,
So out of the bank account still has to come that money.
okay, I just asked you that, and you said it's what is in your checkbook, not in the,
It's- It is
Not cleared.
It is not cleared, right. So the check's been written,
Mhm.
it hasn't cleared the bank. Is that clearer for you?
Let's take it offline.
Okay, very good,
Let's
thank
take-
you. Well,
We'll work on
Thank
that.
you.
After the meeting, we can go over that.
thank you. Got
And
it.
I got copies of the bills, it might make it easier for you to see the numbers.
In the new outline for the payments,
Yes.
which we had been provided.
Yeah, that's right
Thank you.
there, you'll see that.
Okay, Mary Lou, I'm sorry.
The only other thing I have is that I do have some more forms to be signed for Meredith Village Savings Bank that they had neglected to give us for the conservation account and the heritage account. So we'll do that at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yes.
Sorry, this is another question related to Mary Lou's report. Not this week, but, was there not some discussion last week about, sorry, not last week, the last meeting about an anomaly in one of the accounts not having been budgeted appropriately?
Yes.
And it dealt with virtual town hall.
Okay, so I went over the budget numbers, and I guess if I may ask for a little bit of clarification, because this was under general government buildings and telephone/internet, and that would be 4194.402.
Yep.
You said the $1,500 that was budgeted.
It was for our monthly internet charges.
That's also where I put the monthly internet charges, as well as for Fairpoint, as well as the price for virtual town hall.
Yeah.
But, the actual numbers for 2016 in that account
Or 980.
was 980. So, I'm sorry, as I looked at that, I thought, well, now I'm confused, because.
So we have to find out where we budget, where we put the
Isn't it the
charges.
next line item, which is website support? Because I didn't think that we would have missed that during the budget development process. The website support
I'll
is
go
the
back
very
and look.
next one.
His website support is,
Okay, we'll have to get some,
Yeah.
we'll make up
I'll
those.
look into it and I'll let you know at the next meeting.
yeah.
Thank you. I didn't think that you made that mistake. That's my point.
Yeah, I think the money's there, we just need to figure
Yeah, I
out which
just need
line
to
item.
figure out, which line item I put it in.
Tax collector event, are you done, Mary Lou?
I am. So-
Tax collector, nothing to,
That I know of.
okay? Lori?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We're waiting for the newsletter so we can get the tax bills out.
which have to go out by the end of the month.
They have to be out before, probably the best date would be by Friday, at the deadline, because people have to have a month before July 1st to pay their bill.
Okay, we understand. Laura, you have anything?
Yeah, the newsletter.
Oh, what a segue.
Right. I'm hoping to have that wrapped up tomorrow. Hoping.
You need any help? Text us, shout to us. We can fold, do what we have to do.
Yeah.
You have, how many pages? Couple of pages?
Front and back.
Well, that's fine, because that goes into the tax bill.
Yeah.
And then if the tax collector needs help stuffing, text us, call us.
I've spoken with Diana as of last week, and she's all set and ready to fold and stuff envelopes. So,
Okay. Anything else?
one more thing. I heard from the assistant from the town of Middleton, and they were asking if you would be available to walk and do the perambulation on May 31st. It's a Wednesday.
No,
No. Okay.
I know that.
Any ideas for an alternative date, or do you want
No.
to discuss that later?
Okay.
Okay, I'll follow up with them and let them know that that isn't gonna work. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, planning board?
This is the quick report from May 18th. The planning board met and we discussed three major issues. I'll change the order. Three major items regarding zoning. We're going to start reviewing the cell tower regulations, wind energy and sustainable recyclable energy regulations, and we're going to consider a process for amending the master plan. How to get the town together to initiate that, because it's basically needs to be updated. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Next meeting is the third Thursday.
Third Thursday. I had a question about the perambulation. The selectmen can appoint someone to perambulate. Now, they were doing, Middleton Selectmen were doing this to kind of work together and do us a favor. Do we have to have somebody go with them? Like, do we have to appoint, and if we don't, does that mean we have to do it?
I don't believe we have to go with them. What the process usually is, a town will do it if there's no exceptions, unusual events or markings. They'll copy the findings to the next town, and we either accept them or we challenge them.
So are we gonna make a motion to appoint them as the perambulators?
We don't have to do that. They're representing their town, they'll tell us what they find.
Okay, because I thought the RSA stated that the selectmen have to, shall appoint, that if they don't do it, they shall appoint. So I'm just trying to think ahead to make sure that we're doing the process right, so we don't not appoint and then find out what their findings aren't relevant, you know?
So you're suggesting we find someone in town that wants to do that?
Either that or just make sure that we're following the RSA's about perambulation, just to make sure that we're doing it right. Because the law did change to, this session about being able to appoint. Because they tried to eliminate the selectmen having to do it at all. But that failed, and the RSA states that you have to, but you can appoint. I'm just saying make sure, just so we don't wind up finding we have trouble later on.
Thank you.
And then what was the date for it?
May 31st, they were trying to connect their selectmen with ours.
Our appointees.
Well, I thought that Rick was gonna go when it works for you.
That was for last week. I had plans, so I couldn't do that, and the 31st I can't go.
Right. Are you still planning to join them and go with them at some point?
I'll discuss it with them.
That's good. Well, why don't we do that? Rick, you'll talk to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll check the RSA's also. Thank you, Ed. Code Enforcement Officer.
I have an intent to cut map 45, lot 4. It's a new owner, but it's part of a large piece that gets logged up every year.
23?
Yes, sorry. And I have, well, we'll keep going along here, warrants to collect taxes on the 2 gravel pits in town.
Do those have maps on them?
Gravel pits? Yep. One is 30 lot, map 30 lot 3. And the other one is, I don't know if it's in there.
I didn't see that, that's why.
Okay, I'll get it to you. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
30 lot 3.
30
Oh, I
lot
was looking
3,
at the body
map
of it.
11 lot 1.
Thank you.
Sure. Excellent. And that's it for code house.
Okay, let's talk roads.
Okay, what do you want to talk about? Graded,
You don't want the list, do you?
I'm not afraid of the list.
Okay.
Graded Lyford Road, Robinson Road, and Tumble Down Deck Road. Was intending to put out dust control this week, but nature's doing it for us. It's one of them things where weather's our favor, works to our favor. It's great to put it out after the rain, where the water's moist, it penetrates. I mean, no, the water, of course water's moist. The dirt is moist, but when it's too dry, it actually just beads up and it's a waste. So I'm thinking we're gonna probably wait till the beginning of next week.
What are we using?
What are we using? Liquid calcium with a 10% organic substance to it. And it can be either lignin from the paper industry or brewer's yeast from the brewing industry. Yep. So that, and let's see, we're gonna lay out Bryce Drive in the next few days. I'm hoping that Dig Safe gets out there and does their marking, because we do have underground utilities in there. It's the only area in town where we have known underground utilities.
So we should write a letter to the residents of Bryce Drive, telling them that we're going to start soon? We usually do that, right? Notify them that the reconstruction of the road will
Yep.
begin in June.
Yep, and at the same time, the residents who came from Moose Mountain and asked about patching a section of road, we talked about that, we'll be starting that too, kind of at the same time.
Okay.
And continue grading when it fits in, Tibbetts Hill and Burwell will be next.
So Bryce Drive, Moose Mountain, start in June.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And you have anything for me? I have one last thing, but it's a little different.
Yeah, I guess we did a walk around 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You were gonna do some maintenance out back, right, with respect to?
This area out back, yes. Yep.
Good.
Just gonna fit it in, when I come up with a half a day here or there, unless you want me to block out a specific amount of time and do it.
No, as long as it gets done.
Sure.
Do we want to schedule a walk around for the salt shed area for the next meeting? See how that looks.
Okay.
All right, can you be with us at, say, 6 o'clock down at the salt
I
shed?
might already be down there moving stuff.
I understand. Get there at 5:30.
Right, exactly. All right,
Fresh dirt, lots of it.
this is, I didn't make extra copies, this is for Mary Lou, but I thought you gentlemen should read that before I hand it to her. And if it doesn't spark memory, recollection out of your memory, then
Yeah.
I would be glad to elaborate. I thought so. I didn't forget either. And Rick, I don't think you were there at all, so.
No.
Point of information, can the public hear what
Sure.
that's about?
To the Board of Selectmen, as per your request, I have taken over the phone contract with Verizon. We used to pay for that, the town used to pay for that. As of 12/9/16, I agreed to be it was agreed that I be compensated $50 a month, so we owe them some money. In the past, we used to pay $100 a month.
Yep.
And down to 50, because he's picking up half of it now. And that's the work phone, so that we can get a hold of him
Almost all the time.
almost all the time, that's right.
In the summer, I don't answer it late at night unless it's a storm.
I understand.
And do you have any questions, Mary Lou, about that?
No,
Okay. Excellent.
I was there.
I know.
Conservation Commission, Tom is in here. We had a walk of the town land last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, with some residents. We walked down to the Hackett Field and to the Royal property. We looked at where they wanted the rocks put in, and we all agreed, even looking at it, it's up to them to block the road if they want to block. And then we walked to the end of the Governor's Road, and we left a map with the Strazas, Tim, Sarah, and Michelle that walked with us, and they took a copy of the map, and they're gonna go back out there with their GPS and start marking some of the trails we walked so we can put them on the map. So, that was good, yes. Heritage Commission?
Heritage Commission, the next meeting has been changed. It will now be the second Wednesday night, June 14th at 7 o'clock. So if anyone is interested in finding out more information about the Heritage Commission, please come. It will be here at the town offices.
And you posted on the Facebook page and the town page about people interested in joining the Heritage Commission. Any responses?
No.
No. Anything on the archivist?
No.
Okay, well, we posted it. Okay, cemetery are you done, Marilyn?
Yes.
Cemetery trustees?
Oh.
Yep.
Can I be done?
Yeah. go
Don't
ahead.
forget the dinner. I'm gonna just plug it every meeting. August 12th, Saturday barbecue done by our newest selectmen and the Heritage Commission. And it's a great meal. So come on out.
Okay. Cemetery trustees, they worked on a section in the town cemetery this morning, laying out section A, I think it's called, the first section.
First one by the wall, yeah.
So that's all laid out now and marked, all the grave sites have been marked with aluminum indicators. So that wrapped that up. The trees did not show up, we're trying to figure out where the trees are. We might have missed the opportunity, they were having trouble getting them out of Canada because of wet weather. It's now getting late to plant trees. If they plant them, they're guaranteed for a year, but it's getting late. Okay, any other boards or committees that have a report? Ed?
I just have a comment about the perambulation, may I?
Sure.
Just for the record, it's Title III, Town, Cities, Villages, Districts, and Unincorporated Places. It's Chapter 51. And you go to 51-2, it says perambulation of town lines. The lines between the towns and the state shall be perambulated and the marks and bounds renewed once every 7 years forever by the selectmen of the town or by such person as they shall, in writing, appoint for that purpose. That's what I meant by just making sure we do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, old business. we had a 91A request, Brian, that you were gonna address?
Yeah, I got everything over to Ed. Satisfied with what I got you? No?
Yes.
All right, and the actual newspaper articles, if you're really interested, I got them on Jessica's desk, but I sent you the proofs, right?
Thank you. for
Welcome.
that
That was easy.
Timely response.
I jumped ahead on the action items for the property tour. So Ed's gonna do a couple of things. We had the bricks. How are we gonna get rid of those bricks? You want us to just make them disappear? Or you wanna get out there and move them?
Choices.
That's what I thought.
Could we wait till after the June 14th meeting?
Sure, that'd be excellent. I thought we were
All
gonna, fine,
right.
put that on, carry that over. Bricks. Think
So we meet on the 13th and the Heritage Commission meets on the 14th, so I will report to you.
Okay. There was another action item that we didn't get on here, and that was the governor letter, Governor
Yeah.
Road to,
I had to get, Jessica, the assessor, had to give me the actual property owner's name and information. I got that, and I got the zoning items that I need to quote in there. So the letter's basically done, so you'll see it probably next day or so.
okay, good.
Which letter? I'm sorry.
It's a letter regarding the property over on Governor's Road where we found the drug paraphernalia and the fire and whatnot. So we want them to tear down the burnt structure and possibly secure the barn and garage.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You just heard the letter.
Right.
That was,
Mostly.
mostly that was the letter. We had one other item, and that's our roof. Did you have any luck with the?
No,
I called my guy, he didn't get back to me, so I think they're telling me they're busy.
they're
And-
busy.
And maybe that's why we got that quote we got.
They got enough work to last them until the fall.
Yeah, we got a roof that we have to deal with, so
Any leaks?
not yet.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay. Put that on the record. It's on the tape.
And that's the problem getting a roofer now. It's like
Well,
the
seriously, it needs to be replaced, but it's not
It's not
failing.
I called the plumber about replacing our hot water tank that's not leaking, but it's gotta be replaced.
Right.
I got the same thing. I am so busy. And I said, it's not leaking, just please put it on your to-do list. We have to replace the hot water heater. So I'm getting the same feedback from that trade group also.
yeah, the urgency's not there, but we want it done before.
Yeah, we have a problem. Oh, yes, time.
I can appreciate that. Trust me, I've gone through similar issues. But I guess the one question I would ask is, are we widening our search?
We're trying to stay within the town.
So that's my concern. If we widen the search for opportunities, if you've exhausted local people and we need to get the work done, and it needs to get done, perhaps we ought to widen geographically our search area for vendors?
I don't agree with that. I think we should try to keep the trades here as much as we possibly can, unless it's a very urgent matter. That's my own 2 cents, I guess.
The last time we went out of town, we got stiffed, to be honest with you. We tried, we went with a very competitive price on a roof.
Yeah.
And the last minute, the individual says, I can't do the work, so we had to scramble. We went out of town. So I understand what you're saying, we gotta get the work done, but you need reliability also. New business. Richard and I took a course up in North Conway, and they were talking about rules of procedure. The Board of Selectmen aren't required to have rules of procedure. Land use boards are, and you see that in the planning board's rules of procedure. The zoning board's supposed to have rules of procedure. But what I wanted to put on the table was, do we want to try to put together some rules of procedure for our meetings? And the issue is, so it's very predictable what we do, where we post our meeting minutes, where we post our announcements, where we post our public hearing notices, how we treat the public when they want to say something at the meeting, so we can be consistent and follow a set of guidelines. We're not required to have rules of procedure. Do you want to look at some?
No.
No?
I think the somewhat casual but structured format of the meeting flows, and it's the right feel for our relatively small meeting group. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Okay, fine. The other topic I had was, I know it's short notice, what do we want to do with websites? Do we want to?
I gotta admit, that website was slick, that everyone else, I don't know, I guess, it just,
You got two nods.
I don't know. Diane, you have a lot of experience with websites, what'd you think?
Yes.
No,
Well,
I've never built them.
No, you build them, but you utilize them, and you, back in your old job, I thought you said you,
Not really,
no,
no.
okay.
No. I mean, I had a little exposure to the CMS, but
Right,
not,
right.
not, nothing like what these guys do
Oh,
already.
okay. Oh, for some reason I thought you had more
No.
involved in the web.
No.
Rick?
Ed?
I always have a comment. But you didn't call on
Rick, what do you have? What do you think, Rick?
I'll
The
defer to
website-
Ed's experience.
I'm going to Ed next, because he has his own website. So.
Rick?
The website we have works. The improvements of the new website that he demonstrated tonight are really good. They're nice to have. The way the schools breathing down our budget and the way things are going, I don't think it's a good idea to lay out more money at this time.
Okay. Ed, you have a comment?
I agree with Rick, and I say this only because we're a town of 700 people. If there is an issue that the website can't handle, we should have the gentleman that was here explain why it can't do things, because it should be pretty simple. So I'm just saying that I think we should at least stick with what we have for now, make sure we're utilizing every ounce of it as it is now, and not spending any more money on it.
Okay. Anybody else?
So, Ed, do you think our website could do like the computer to the tablet to the cell phone thing like he said? Like he said the new one would?
No, it may not, no, it can't do that. It can't do that, but do we know how many hits the website gets every month?
I
Just
haven't
an
looked at it
estimate?
in a year.
It's like 13, 30?
Yeah, it was not big numbers,
It was like 50 a day.
Yeah, so
How many cell phone hits?
Oh, who knows?
can't tell.
if you're gonna use your cell phone, okay, you have to shrink it to look at it. I'm just saying that I mean, is anybody complaining about navigation when they come to the website?
The issues, no, the issues I had, and I spent a lot of time with Rose trying to get information on our front page. Something that was more dynamic. I mean, the stuff that's there is static, so once you look at it, you've exhausted what you're gonna see. If you wanna put information up there like a calendar that's got some information on meetings that are coming at you, you can't do it. You gotta drill down. So we found it pretty frustrating to do maintenance or try to put some additional capabilities on there.
I don't like the calendar myself. I find it the old kind that's cumbersome. And to get to month, you know, do I really have to drill down the month to say then go? And I like the new format of the calendar, but that's me. If I'm trying to get to when's my June meeting, when's my August dinner, is it on the calendar? Cumbersome.
The other thing we tried to do very hard was, and we heard it from Martha at the town meeting, we tried to tell her that the voting had been, the town meeting was rescheduled. But it wasn't obvious. It wasn't obvious, so the web folks tried to do it, but the public couldn't find it. And that should have been right up front, you know?
Well, one person couldn't find it.
Yeah, but it's feedback.
So I think more than one person couldn't find it. Yeah.
Because the calendar, for instance, I have your calendar up on my computer all the time that I just refresh, so the calendar's right there. And if I need an agenda or minutes, they're always up. You click on it. I
So if
use it
you're-
on a consistent basis, it seems like it works.
If you're in a May calendar and you want to go to June,
You press the arrow ahead.
is there an arrow?
Yeah.
I thought I had to put in the next month and then go. I missed the arrow, I guess.
When you go to the home page,
It's okay. It's okay. We-
Sorry.
Yes, Diane?
I understand what kind of precipitated this, other than some little bit of wonkiness in the website, the way that it is now, but that not being able to get the word out, or for, heaven forbid, any other critical events that might be useful to notify the folks who live in town. And I'm wondering if there's another mechanism to be able to do that, like a reverse 911. Is that a possibility that might solve that?
It works for landlines. As long as you have a landline, reverse 911 would work.
Only, that's right. Okay.
I'm not sure that would have been an acceptable use.
No,
of
they
that
most likely would have said, for that, that's not a real emergency as such.
Well, so I didn't, I've never used it, so I don't know exactly how it works, but something like that. I mean, that, I don't know if there's, I guess I'm looking for a solution that I don't know whether or not it exists.
Okay.
So, thank you.
That's it.
Just real quick about the day when the voting information didn't get out that it was changed. That was the reason why it says it in the Constitution that is the voting day. That's why Dr. Marsh kept the voting day where it was supposed to be, because you're supposed to make sure that everybody knows well in advance when the voting day is, so
There was a
everybody
change,
gets.
but the town meeting changed. That was the issue, the town meeting changed. The moderator said we're gonna meet on Saturday. That afternoon, that didn't get out well.
How did I know that it was?
You were here.
The website said that it was Saturday.
I found it on the website too, but it just sounded like it was trouble navigating it. I found it too.
It's right
Okay.
Can I just say mine?
Sure.
here. But you have to.
The town operates on skeleton hours, skeleton crew. We're not open a heck of a lot. We're not available. There's not really great email and voicemail access. That website is basically our primary conduit to the public. And I appreciate the $4,500 is $4,500 or $1,500 per year, but you know, if that's our major conduit to get information out to people, communicate to people, get forms to people, it's investment versus upping hours or having increased office hours and so on. So that's my thought.
A couple of years ago, we tried to kill the website, and the feedback we received was quick and clear. Do not stop doing that.
When did you talk about killing the website?
That was 5 years ago or so.
So just before I would
It was-
have been against that one.
So I guess my feeling is, I think we should look at upgrading the website. It's $1,500 a year for the next 3 years. I think it's gonna help us. It's gonna help us provide more current information. Today we post information in half a dozen places in the back room. We post information in half a dozen different places. We don't keep it current. One place, one person's responsible for it, and you have access to it.
And it gives them access, meaning, you know, whoever the administrators are from
Nope.
home.
Nope.
You know, wherever they don't need to come in here and log on to the portal here. It's, right, that was my understanding, right, that now you'll have some sort of intranet website that you can get onto and be an administrator anywhere, and arguably we all could as well.
I do have that installed on my laptop, so I can access it from home, but if I'm out and about, I don't have any means to do that.
Okay.
You need that tool
Right.
to upgrade the website.
Right.
So we can't post an emergency meeting or a notice quickly on our website.
And make it very obvious.
There's gotta be a box we can put on that front page and have it blank until we have to put something, and you can probably take the picture of that train and change it out
There
for,
is a place
a
for
notice.
emergency news, but we need to get to one of the computers that has that application on it to be able to get to the point of adding that emergency news. And it comes up in a red box, just like the one that he was showing us this evening. I think it even flashes.
where's the computer for access, right here?
We have computers here that have the access. We were next door in the snowstorm.
I was away.
My computer at home has it. Jennifer's computer at home has it. Laurie's computer has it. But that's not where any of us were to do the changes for town meeting. And the other thing, the comment about being able to put it in one place and have it go to all the different places you want it to go, especially with the planning board. Because we have a lot of places where that data is showing.
I agree, it's slick, but we have money problems right now.
So what if we did this? What if we survive for now, and in the fall, when we're doing the budgeting process, reconsider it and see if he'll do a deal where, like Clifton cut with him, where if we pay you, you bill us, we start in October or November, and we pay it in January.
Or we wait till later in the year and see how we're doing on the budget.
Yeah,
If we didn't spend a lot of money on stuff that we thought we were gonna spend money on,
right.
we might say,
Yeah, if we could find the money, that would be great, but right now, just saying, yeah, just whack off another bill, another bill, another bill, it gets out of control and out of hand.
I appreciate that.
I'm worried about the money that the school's gonna bang us with.
And I suspect there's gonna be more next year. And if we have to, we shut it down. I mean, you gotta have
Why not? They
responsibility.
keep asking, we keep paying.
Different issue, we got a responsibility to keep the town going. Unfortunately, we don't control the school board.
Right.
And it's gonna go, I suspect it's going up again. We can take our budget to zero and it's still gonna go up. I mean, it's a different issue.
5 years ago, they wanted to kill the website, well, it's 5 years now, we have a website.
Pardon me?
We have a website.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna hold off until the fall and see where we stand financially.
I think that makes the most sense. I wasn't planning on making a motion now to do it. I think we need to chew on it, but maybe by the end of the year, we're looking at, extra cash in the budget, we can then make a decision, pull the trigger if we want, or buy the tax rate down.
Okay.
And I'll have one more item after you guys are, do you have anything? Go ahead.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done? New topic, any new topics you wanna bring up?
Yeah. I had a youngster in town call me while I was on the road, looking to do community service for school, about 6 hours. And I thought that was great. I'll contact him again and we'll figure out something that he can do. But it got me thinking, is this the only kid in Brookfield that does community service? Or is everybody doing community service, now 80 kids are doing community service someplace else?
The school's mandate to do, like my oldest, it's like 25 hours. In a lot of them, they're in Wolfboro, they're doing stuff over there. My youngest as well,
What kind of projects are they doing in Wolfboro?
He would do the Kingswood and Kids. He would go on Saturdays, and basically the kids come in before the morning to give them rec hours. He would help baseball over at the Neck with the younger kids, and help from hauling trash to coaching kids, stuff like that.
If we had a coordinator or something to coordinate with whichever classes are requiring community service and try to get our kids to do something here from, I don't know, helping elderly or beautification, I don't know. Work with the treasurer.
Getting rid of bricks.
No, they're kids, I don't wanna get them back break and move brickwork. But
See, like
there's-
I've
there's
never
gotta be
had
stuff to be done around
Yeah,
here.
I would think if there's a way to get guidance or somebody from the schools to, tell them that we're looking for those
Give them-
community service hours.
80 kids, we're giving about 500 hours to Wolfboro
Yeah.
of community service.
So.
The school year's just about done. It'd be
Yeah.
something I think we get in touch with guidance to say,
If we had a list of projects we want students to work on, we could give it to the guidance department and
Mhm.
say,
Yeah.
Brookfield's interested in some hours in these areas.
Can they work on those hours over the summer, Or does
Yeah,
it have to
yeah.
be during the school year?
no, they can, because basically what I would do is a lot of kids would help me out when I would run baseball tournaments, and I would make them cook and clean, and then in the fall, for the upcoming year, I said this person donated 40 hours of their time. And I would sign up for a letter and that would get them what they needed.
You know, kids come down and help out at the
That's
the
what I-
coffees.
That's what I was listening for. I mean, can they help?
Or the barbecue, stuff like that.
Sure.
Wash the windows.
No, there's no small projects we can have them do between just yard work and, you know, the special events. Yeah, I think we get in touch with guidance over at Kingswood and say, hey, you know, we're paying you $1.2 million, can you send us some community service sometime?
So do they just show up and do what we ask, or is there supervision involved?
Depends on the age of the kids, I would think, you know. I would argue supervision was probably not a bad thing, at least, you know, somebody here, just to make sure that they're all set and there's no questions.
So if we can find someone to coordinate, it could be something good for the town.
Yeah. You have an idea, Diane?
No, I have a question for Brian,
Oh.
because he seems to know the most about it. Your kids, did this start at a certain age or grade level?
It's usually high school that they start, they have they call it a Kingswood Scholar program. Every year it's a graduated amount of time. Also certain AP classes mandate that you put in community service over and above your other community service. So there's a lot of hours being gathered up by a lot of the, you know, kids over there, you know, at Kingswood.
And is that coordinated through guidance counselors only?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So that's what I'm saying, I could reach out to them and say, you know, here's our contact information, and if a kid's looking to bank up 10 hours, we can definitely find work.
Why don't we take that step anyway? Give the guidance counselor the contact.
Yeah.
And then we'll try to make a list. So we can be helpful with the guidance counselor and say, these are the projects we've come in.
About fixing the board up at Stone. That's a definite thought, fixing the board up at Stone Road.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of small projects.
Do they paint?
Yeah, we'll do whatever we want.
I mean, the kiosk up at Stoneham,
Yeah, it needs dyslexia too.
Yeah.
So will our insurance cover this?
Yeah, it's volunteerism, so it's
Because it's
typically,
volunteers, yes.
yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
no, trust me. That's another reason why I want.
Unsupervised kids make me nervous.
No, I think you need at least one adult live there.
Make sure we have the lawnmower at the end of mowing the lawn.
so you're
And all
gonna,
the toes.
you're gonna talk to the guidance counselor.
Yes, I
And we're
know
gonna
who
start
runs
making a
it.
list.
Yes. okay.
Brainstorm a list,
Okay.
brainstorm whatever we can do, like, I think they can help serve, right? The
Yeah.
coffees and,
Sure.
and this.
How about paint
No,
next door?
Up to 3 feet.
Yeah.
no, I'm putting kids up on ladders and scaffolding.
Now we have someone come and take care of the gardens and
Yeah,
maybe
anymore.
planting flowers.
We have in the past.
They, you know,
There was a
But they
group,
could, that's your point, right? That's good. Spread mulch.
get a few flats of geraniums and have them plant them around. I don't know.
What did this person suggest, Rick, that he wanted to do?
He was open.
Okay,
I tried to ask him what his interests were, what he likes to do and everything, just anything.
okay.
We wanted to get in 6 hours.
Haley needs to do hours too.
Do they? See, there's another parent.
But these kids are doing these hours and they're not doing them here.
Right.
So it's just, the phone call was a wake up.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Anything from you, anything else, Richard?
No.
Brian, you have anything to add?
I'm good. I've been chatty enough today. What is this?
Okay. Any other public comments?
Oh, that's abstract.
Okay, let's go over the invoices.
Okay. Let me.
We have mail. Invoices and
All right, so
mail.
I'll start to do the invoices. There's not much mail there.
All right, you looked at it?
We have the invoice from 10 Construction with relation to the cell phone. That's a $235 bill. 10 Construction for regular work, to include some clear leaves, grade rock pile, Lightford, Robinson, tumble down Dick roads were graded, obviously. Total bill for 10s is $3,362. There were 2 public notices for the ZBA hearing. Total bill is $155. Then we have Mountain View title abstract for tax lien searches, $190. The Central New Hampshire VNA Hospice has sent for their their second installment, $750. Caring is Sharing, Wakefield Food Pantry, they are looking for their $1,000 first installment that we pledged.
Now, we got one that was for $6,500 from the food pantry.
Yeah, that was for the town of Wakefield.
Oh, sorry.
We got it.
We got the bill, so I,
Circled the $6,500?
no, somebody did.
I did. I said 6,500, where, did I miss something?
So I saw Howie on Pride Day and said, so you owe me a stamp. I forwarded on to the right town.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Okay.
Plodsick and Sanderson has their April bill for accounting services, $405.
And I will call them to get an update.
Okie dokie. Well, they sent it, oh yeah, that's right.
They've been looking for some more information, I'll make sure they're getting it.
Oh, okay, good. So now what you-
Are they still doing the 535?
Yes, this hasn't been submitted yet.
All right, Eversource, current charge is $181.61?
So that drops significantly.
Yes, indeed. It was an anomaly. Eversource other bill for the, how do we differentiate? which
One,
is-
look at the address. Address is, one's 267 and one's the other place. One's the salt shed.
Yeah.
83.
They both say 267.
No, the location of service, someplace up top.
That one's different.
This is what,
267?
look, because I looked at it and seen.
Keep going back.
See, this, you can. Now, this is the salt shed. You can tell by the usage, it goes to 1 in the summer.
Okay. I just didn't know if it said it there.
It did.
Yeah, well, sure.
I'm gonna look for it.
I don't see it. All right. So like I said, we have one Eversource bill for $181.61, and then the other one is for $72.28.
Now we only owe 30-something, 35,
Oh,
something,
I'm sorry.
30.
You got it. $36.41, excuse me, is the current amount due for Eversource. That's the salt shed one.
And there's one more there for the
This.
tax collectors. Yep.
Oh, tax collector membership, New Hampshire Tax Collectors Association, $40 check for. That's all the bills. Alright. So I make a motion that we accept the bills as read on the record.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before we get to those, just to remind you, we're deeding some property at the end of the month. We made a motion to hold that off until this end of
I think you said May 31st.
May 31st, but we're not meeting again. So I would assume the tax collector's gonna start that process. And we'll have to sign the documentation. She'll have to put it in the box and we'll sign it, because we made that motion, but that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Do we need to sign the school bill, or that's enough things?
Mm.
Okay,
I mean, no.
because we're not making a payment this
I'll
round.
make June, right, I've made May, I'll make June. And this is just a preliminary, and then around December, they send me another one.
So are we gonna be making a payment this,
I've made May.
okay, so we're not cutting a check right now?
No.
Okay.
All right, if you initial those, if you agree.
Hold,
Hold an engineer.
yeah, the check. 13,250.
Yeah. It wasn't one that was read at a meeting.
We voted to move forward on that contract last time.
Yep.
And part of the contract was half the payment,
Yeah. So you have to check.
13,000, whatever.
What contract is that?
The bridge on Moose Mountain Road.
The engineering.
Yeah, the Holden engineering contract for them to do all the work on the bridge. We're making a 50% installment of 13,250.
We'll do that first, then we'll read the mail.
Do you want me to mail that out tomorrow?
Pardon?
Do you want me to mail that out tomorrow?
Please, you have the signed contract, right? So Lori will put that out. What part of that do you want back? Bill's not here. After Richard signs that. And there was another item I wanted to bring up. One of my ongoing,
This one?
yeah, that one goes to Lori. She'll mail that with the contract tomorrow.
Yep.
You have to sign there in the village stuff.
Yeah. I have
All right, sorry. All right, we'll let it go. Oh. No, it goes the other way. Oh. Okay, we've got two pieces of mail, one to Virginia from the state saying they audited her books as a municipal registered road agent, and she passed that audit. That's what that says. And we've got something from the Attorney General, Department of Justice, from the state of New Hampshire, that the trustees of the trust fund, cemetery trustees, and library trustees should be aware of the RSAs requiring some required education if you manage trust funds. And the only people to do in this town are the trustees of the trust funds.
This is just the Meredith Village thing.
Oh, Meredith Village.
You're the top.
What do they just want?
You just want you to sign.
your signature.
Nothing on this?
No.
No, but you have to sign on page 2 where she put a whatever as well. Because you're special.
Where is it that you sign it?
Corporate resolutions, usually when you do, it may be on the back page.
There you go.
Usually when you change signers on a bank account, they also ask you to sign a corporate resolution. So she gave me the one for the main account, but did not give me the ones for the Conservation Commission and the Heritage Commission. So they just need signing as well. And I'll return them to the bank on Friday.
There's another one on the back. Okay. Mail's done, bills are done, checks are done. Anything else from anybody? Okay.
The next school board meeting is June 5th at the Skylight Dining Room.
Okay.
Town
June
County
5th.
Commissioners meetings tomorrow morning at 8:30.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, meeting's adjourned.
New